Hello everybody, this is Trina. So this is my first card using the Stitch Together papers, and I just fell in love with this paper here. I just love it. So I wanted to fussy cut it, and I didn't really want to do all of the pages, but I definitely wanted to do one. So I've gone ahead and put these together. I've used the Stitch Circles embossing folder on this and just kind of trimmed out around it. I'm using the silver foil paper from Close to My Heart, and I have designed and cut these ovals, stitched ovals out. Stitched ovals or not stitched ovals? Anyways, I'm also using a banner die from Close to My Heart, as well as the You Make Me Happy Operation Smile stamp set from Close to My Heart as well. It is a lot of Close to My Heart right now. So I'm using, let's see, the color was Lemonade and Sapphire. And then I went ahead and cut the pieces out of the patterned paper from the Stitch Together collection. And I am kind of talking about how I made a card before, and what I end up with this time is going to be different from this card here. So that is one of the things that you can do, is you can, mix and match. You don't have to use the same pattern paper. You can do a different one that you can cut other pieces out of, or you can use stamps and dies and cut your own pieces and shapes out. So, it all works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive on the back of my sapphire cardstock, and this is going to be a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I can never remember the actual name of the cardstock or the size. It's, I want to say A4. Yeah, A2. I can never remember. I'm sure somebody will remember for me, but it's not something I use all the time, so it doesn't, it's not like it, information that I always need to remember, but there you go, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Anyways, so I'm going to attach this first, and so I'm going to attach the Lemonade cardstock to the silver foil, and I'm not going to put any adhesive on the silver foil because on the bottom of it, because I want to be able to tuck things underneath. You will see that in a little bit. So I'm using the very last bits of this liquid glass, and I'll tell you what, it is still working. It is still going. I love it. So I have cut 3 of these scalloped ovals, and I'm going to layer them up, and I think this one is, I want to say, ballerina cardstock. I think it's ballerina cardstock. Anyways, it was a pink that I had enough of, and I'm pretty sure it was the ballerina cardstock because I have gotten quite a bit of that lately. So yeah, I went ahead and glued all of those together, lined them up as best as I can, and then I don't know if you can see these, it has little folding areas that you go ahead and fold it, and it makes it so easy, so easy. So I've pre-stamped this in the sentiment, and it is thinking of you. Again, that is from the Make Me Happy Operation Smile stamp set. If you're interested in any of these supplies, I will have my shopping link in the description box below. It's also there down on the right hand side, hellotarina.ctmh or closetomyheart.com. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that with my liquid glass to the oval, and it really does fit perfectly even on the oval, which I was so excited about. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue down the banner part, just the banner. I don't know what they're called, and you just want to make sure that the oval is centered in the middle of your card, and then you just add adhesive underneath of the tails, I guess is what they're called, the tails of the banner, and you just hold it down there for a little while. Clean up any extra bits of adhesive, and then just set that down there to dry. It doesn't take very long. Liquid adhesive goes pretty fast. So as you can see, I have a lot of different shapes, a lot of different options. I had I had enough to do 4 cards. 4 cards? 5 cards, just out of this one piece of paper, and I still end up with a little bit left over, but it's, you know, fairly minimal. But now that I think about it, I kind of have an idea for a card. So another card, yes, another card. So I am using a foam tape as well as the liquid glass, and I'm going to go ahead and just use that to adhere things. I don't really have a plan. I don't know what I want to do. I just kind of wing it. I don't have the same pieces, which is kind of what I'm showing you. So I'm going to just make it my own and figure out, you know, where I want everything placed. I didn't use any of these pink butterflies on the previous card. So I have 3 of those, and I don't need 3 of them for this card. So I will have extras of those, as well as the ladybugs and some leaves as well, I think. I actually have a pretty decent amount left over, so I can actually do a whole nother card. And the one I'm thinking of is a very simple card, but it's, you know, I don't know. My mind is saying it's cute, so we'll see. We'll see how well that works out. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of doubling up the foam tape because I want it to go over that frame without making it awkward, if that makes sense. I don't want it to bend funny. I want it to bend like a butterfly. So, and I almost forget that I have both tails, or both lower wings in there. And there we go. Those are the butterflies. And then, of course, I mean, what you do for your, you know, your card, if you do recreate this, you don't have to do it with, you know, exactly the way that I did it. I literally just stuck some things in there and decided, oh, that looks kind of cute. I guess I'll just keep it there. And then some things were like, oh, I'm not too sure about that. What should I do instead? And then I tried a couple of different things. And you'll see that I even glue some things down, and then I pull them up and then put them, you know, in a different place, and or just switch them out completely. So yeah, you can definitely do that. So I was going to put this blue piece on there, and or the blue flower on there. I was like, I only have the 2 pieces, so I kind of want that to be a focal point. I don't want 2 pieces down at the bottom and nothing at the top. I kind of like to have it balanced a little bit. So yeah, as you can see, it's just, I'm like, it's really easy to just, I mean, okay, I say it's easy, but I mean, it did take me a while. Like this card originally took me about 40 minutes, which really isn't that bad. I mean, I already had the fussy cutting done, and I already had the die cutting done. I already had the embossing done. So, you know, and the stamping. So all of that stuff was not in the overall, you know, time that it took. The cutting of the papers and all of that would have taken time. So this card definitely did not take me 19 minutes, as the video numbers suggest. I actually sped this up twice. I think it was 2.5 times, 2.6 times this normal speed. But I figured, you know, if you want to watch the real time, I do have a real time of this, if you are a fan of real time videos. And then, as you can see, it just trying to fill it up, and I don't want to fully cover up the silver strip, so I want to make sure that's kind of balanced, and make sure the green is you know, the leaves and the all of that is balanced and everything. And yes, so that's kind of where we're at. Kind of figure, you know, I really do a lot of fiddle farting around. There is you know, a lot of different pieces, and there's a lot of different configurations that you can do. Also, when I decide it's time to add some leaves, then I'm like, okay, well, how do I want to add the leaves to this flower? And, you know, which direction do I want the leaves to go? Because I don't want too much green on one side and not enough green on the other side. So, but then that's when I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get my glue out, and I'm going to start gluing things down. it just makes more sense to just put it down and just deal with those, deal with it later. You don't have to actually do anything. Most of the time you don't have to do anything with it. So I'm just kind of figuring out exactly where I want the leaves to go on these flowers. Some flowers are pretty obvious. You don't want certain ones in certain places. And I'm liking how this is turning out so far. Trying to figure out if I want leaves on here, and I don't know, I kind of don't want leaves. It just seems like it's already got green on the flower, right? So I don't really want, and that flower, I'm not sure if it's upside down or if it's right side up. It didn't have a stem coming out of that green part. That was actually like the top, like a coneflower. So I'm assuming that it does not have, like that's not the bottom part of the flower, which it could be, but I don't know that it is. So now I'm just adding some of these in here. I've decided to just go with it. Add foam tape to some of them. Kind of figure out where exactly I want these to go. And of course you can move them around as you go. Like, you don't have to keep them, even if you glue them down, you can usually pull them up as long as you have something to replace that, with. It usually works out okay. I don't know why, I had it perfect for a second there, and then all of a sudden that's not exactly how I wanted it. So I don't know what's going on, but it ends up working. Anytime I'm around those scalloped oval, yes. I always try to add in foam tape so that I can keep it up on the, everything on the same level. And then, yeah, just adding things in now. And then I'm checking, do I want that under? Nope, I want it over. And it's kind of close to the thinking of you, but I figure, you know what, it works. I don't really want the butterfly to be just floating there. I mean, butterflies float, but still, it just seemed kind of naked down below there, and I didn't really want to leave it that way, so I added the little flower. I could have used a smaller one, but I think that would have been too, because like the smaller ones are very vibrant, like they're not in the lighter tones, so I decided to just go ahead and see, I switched out the flower for the little pink ladybug, and then you will watch, if you watch, I do replace it with something totally different. So, and this one actually ends up with 2 leaves on it, because I liked how that looked on the left and it just looked like it needs something green on the right, so you could, just go ahead and add something to it. So check with that one, that's not the right leaf. See, that's one thing that I'm going to have a struggle with, is because I use up quite a bit of the leaves on this card. So for the next one, I'm going to have some of the leaves that I couldn't find a spot for on here, which means that they're going to be harder for me to use. See, I like that. I kind of wish I had a 4th one for down below, but I don't. So I kind of struggle with this one, but I do eventually figure it out. And just add some liquid adhesive, and yes, I was pretty much this quiet during the video, the real-time video as well. So I do talk to myself a lot. I'm not sure what I did. There we go. It's in there now. It's staying. And I'm just going to check around here and see if there's anything that I want in veranda, any more greenery that I want in other places. Kind of like that. So I want to add some of the pointy leaves, and like the leaves that have the points on the ends. I want to add them on the top, in the middle, and on the bottom so that it's balanced. If you just have them in one spot, it's going to look kind of strange because you don't have it anywhere else. And then it makes them kind of stand out and be extra noticeable. And we are getting close. So I'm pretty much just going to add, I'm going to try this little yellow one here and there, and like, yeah, maybe not. That's just too, it's like I said, it's on the really vibrant end of the spectrum here, and I just, I don't know. That seemed a little bit dark, but this one, I don't know, it just seemed like it needed more red down at the bottom, so then I go ahead and add it there. Add some more leaves, add some more flowers, just pretty much flip it around. Move things around, see what I like, see what I don't like, see how I want things to change, and I'm really liking that. So I think that's what I go for. I do add in the little bit of red down there, I think. It's just got to get it all together. So I'm just going to add adhesive on here. It will be added to there, right there, right there. There we go. And then we are almost done. So after I add this little guy and these little red ones here, those little red ones were quite the fussy cut little things. Took some attention. So the last part is the bitty sparkles. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of my bitty sparkles, and I just want to stick them kind of here and there on the outsides of the design, if that makes sense. This one I was just struggling with, and I ended up getting it on my shirt, and then it had fuzzies from my shirt, and so I had to pick the fuzzies off, and it was just a pain. That one was a pain. So I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want it. I do end up sticking it on the blue butterfly, and then I kind of just want to, like, draw your eye up and around the card. And there it is. I mean, I could always add more bling if I wanted to, but I didn't want to add too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this card. If you did, give me a thumbs up if you want to recreate this. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.